What's going on, my Astro family? Yes, we are having another event in the skies, and that is going to be our lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces that is happening on September 17th, 2024. And guys, get ready for dramatic endings, sudden new beginnings. The full moon is going to be revealing hidden truths. Things are going to be bubbling to the surface that has always been there, but it's just going to make itself known. We're going to have to make those major decisions and transformation with regards to what this energy is bringing us. So you can expect big shifts and changes within your relationship. I'm talking about dramatic changes and transformation through the process of self-discovery. With this particular lunar eclipse, get ready for major spiritual breakthroughs and some emotional growth. And the full moon eclipse that's happening in Pisces is going to set the stage for a brand new cycle of change and a new chapter in our life. So just to give you guys a background, full moons and eclipses reveal hidden truths. So full moons and lunar eclipses are about moments of culmination when things that have been brewing under the surface come forth into the spotlight. And these types of cosmic events, they bring clarity to situations that have been unclear or unresolved for some times. So you've been sweeping something under a rug, you just haven't had the energy to deal with it. Guess what? The energy is coming because the full moon is going to intensify those emotions related to those areas in your life that this full moon is affecting. And as the energy of the eclipse stirs up drama, particularly in the areas of life ruled by the house and the sign where the full moon falls in your chart, you're going to have heightened energy. And this heightened energy can lead to an intense internal crisis. And this often reveals the gaps or deficiencies where we are lacking in our lives and are just not happy with that lack. And this can be a perfect time to dive deep into what we emotionally will require to feel complete and those areas that are influenced heavily by the eclipse in our charts. So expect I have to warn you, a temporary cloud of uncertainty because this energy bursts forward and the energy is so potent that we have a surge of emotions that makes us just irrational, and we cannot be really contain and don't really know how to navigate the energy that's happening that's suddenly being activated by the eclipse. So one important thing to remember is that when the eclipses first happen, they tend to obscure or hide our vision temporarily because there's just too much going on. And so while we might feel a strong urge to act, it's better to just sit, chill, just chillax for a minute and let our inner wisdom guide us. That might be hard to do, but if you have this information, then you're prepared, and you should know, take a deep breath and just wait until the energy passes, get a hold of it before you make major moves or whatever. So full moons, they already amplify your emotions. And, when it's combined with an eclipse, the impact is 10 times as great, 10 times as more intense. And so that means your judgment is not in the best situation. Is not oriented for you to make those choices that affects your life. So you have to take a chill pill. So rather than just rushing to conclusions, you just gotta, press pause and allow the time to reflect and trust that clarity is going to come. Right. And so when the eclipses hit, patience is the key, because guess what? You're not the only one feeling this burst of emotion. Other people are feeling it too. So they might be acting a little strange towards you, and you're looking at them like, what the hell? Like, what is their problem? Know that they are being influenced, and, give them some grace before you act and you judge their actions, because they might not be getting this information. They might not know. Know that eclipses bring relationship shifts. Lunar eclipses often highlight relationship dynamics, so they trigger moments of realization about what we truly need from our connections, which can lead through breakthroughs and breakups and sudden connections. And sometimes these realizations involves, they do involve our partnerships, obviously, with others, but they often are, as they are about relationships. It's not only about the relationships with the people that we encounter maybe suddenly or even every other day, but they're also about our relationships to the subjects that are governed by the house that the eclipses affect within our chart. And so I'm going to speak generally about how they affect every sign specifically and in a very general manner. But if you want to know how it is going to affect you, you can always book a reading with me and we can, unpack how the eclipses will affect you. So moving on though, emotional intensity of these moments can lead to significant changes, obviously. And some relationships, they probably will end by the challenges that are called forth and unearthed and are surfacing because they can no longer stay under the surface. While others, relationships might be challenged to and gain strength and a newfound understanding of what mutual needs are so that the relationship can stand on even stronger ground after you address what is needed. So dramatic changes and transformations in relationships, and that's honestly through self-discovery, because the lunar eclipse, while it focuses on relationship dynamics, we also, you can't be in a relationship, well, you can be in a relationship by yourself, but and we all have a relationship to ourselves. But what I'm trying to say is that the lunar eclipse kind of forces us to go inward and look at the things that we are not content with, the things that our soul calls to transform so that we can live a better life. So as we go through the process of self-discovery, the relationships transform dramatically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And so during this period, relationships, they experience sudden challenges, breakthroughs and endings. Everything seems so intense and so magnified as emotions run high because of the surge from the lunar eclipse. And they give us an awareness of what we lack in our lives, and they push us into taking action to address those imbalances, and thus brings about the change and the transformation. So although the initial phase may feel chaotic or uncertain, that often leads to powerful revelations that can steer us toward a more meaningful path in life. And that is the point, guys. And so this series of lunar eclipses is going to start on the 17th of September, and they are going to stretch through 2027. So it's going to happen over a period of 2.5 years. And it is going to be in the sign in the Virgo Pisces axis in our charts. So the Virgo Pisces axis is activated, and this particular eclipse series is going to invite us to explore how well we are balancing the practical everyday aspects of our material lives with our spiritual and emotional needs. Because Virgo and Pisces, Virgo rules the 6th house, Pisces rules the 12th house. The 6th house is all about our everyday routines, our health needs, and the tools that we use to get through our material lives, while the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and that's ruled by things that are hidden, things that are unseen, the spiritual realm, our connection to the divine, and God, our higher sense of self. Our higher sense of self, and our spiritual health and things like that. So Virgo's influence focuses on the tools and the ways that the methods we use to manage our daily routines, health, and the desire for to have our materials lives run the way we want it to. And under Virgo's energy, we become more aware of the imperfections, because Virgo is all about the meticulous detail. And so we can see through Virgo, or that the energy of Virgo helps us to see the flaws and imperfections more acutely when it is activated. So, and when this lunar eclipse is activated, you're going to see without a doubt what in your life is flawed and imperfect, and you're going to want to change that. And on the opposite end, Pisces governs, like I said, our spiritual lives. And this is emphasizing our connection to the divine, our intuition, and our emotional and spiritual health. And so what this is going to be, let me just continue on now. Well, Pisces energy also allows us to see the beauty in imperfection and chaos, while Virgo is like, no, we need order in the court. Okay, order in the court. So this eclipse is encouraging us to seek harmony between the material and the spiritual realms. That's what it's calling us to do. And so focusing too much on either end of the spectrum, whether living in chaos or becoming too, overly rigid, that's going to create that imbalance between that realm of the material world and the spiritual world. It's all about finding the balance there. And then as we move into this conversation with you guys, how our everyday lives with regards to the area that it's affecting in our chart, like how are we focusing there or not, to the point where it's giving or detracting from our spiritual needs, our spiritual, mental, and emotional health, right? That is what this eclipse is going to be, working with through us, right? It's going to ask us to find a sweet spot between spiritual fulfillment and our daily responsibilities. If you're too focused in your daily, but you're neglecting your spiritual health, that's a problem. You're going to find breakdown with regards to how those are affecting you. And we have a little bit of nuance here because we have the lunar eclipse is going to be connected to Neptune, which is aligned with the moon, and the influence of Neptune is going to add a layer of fantasy and idealism as it rules Pisces. So honestly, I think that it's going to have a layer of divine connection associated with it. So I think there's going to be like sudden revelations and sudden breakthroughs spiritually that you're going to have with regards to where these areas touch in your chart. And it's also aspecting Jupiter, and Jupiter's job is to expand or to exaggerate whatever it touches. So that's this energy is going to be on 10. It's going to be even heightened even further. And it's also being aspected by Uranus in a pretty desirable way. So I think the changes will come about somewhat easy. Okay. This lunar eclipse is also giving us spiritual insights. And like I said, I already said that, but spiritual insights, which is leading to emotional growth. So the events around the eclipse are likely to push us toward greater emotional understanding and spiritual connection from within. So we may realize that in order to feel fulfilled, we need to pay attention to our mental and emotional well-being. We got to let go of stress, and we got to become more passionate to ourselves. We have to learn self-compassion and towards others. And so at this time, we're also going to have to take a break, possibly from the daily grind, and focus on nurturing our spiritual needs, right? We can't be so wrapped up in the material that we're neglecting our spiritual needs. So this is going to allow for personal growth and deeper connections also to those around us. And maybe we're going to sever ties to those around us and our relationship to things in our environment that's not contributing to us spiritually, that we're just way too focused on in this material world. So, guys, this, like I said, cycle is going to bring about the beginning of a new journey. Okay. So this eclipse will set the tone for your life that's going to carry on until 2027. And it's all about how we navigate our material life and in a way that enriches us. And so although changes may feel big now, they're opening doors to new experiences and fresh perspectives and ultimately a better life. And so as we dive deeper into this lunar eclipse, let's talk about how it's going to affect your sign. So you can see how it's going to influence your path forward through the next 2.5 years through 2027. Let's get it, guys. Hey, Scorpio, how are you doing? I know you're doing well. What does this lunar eclipse in Pisces that's happening on September the 17th have in store for you? Well, it is the eclipse is happening in your fifth house of love and creativity. So you're going to have major transformations, breakthroughs, also drama, and ultimately changes and transformations for better for your highest good that's going to be happening for you. And the eclipses that's going to be unfolding in Pisces and Virgo over the next 2.5 years are going to be transforming your fifth house and your 11th house dramatically. So what insights are you going to be gaining during this lunar eclipse? Well, there's going to be surprising developments in love and creativity because this eclipse is lighting up your fifth house, and it's shining a spotlight on your creativity and your relationships, romantic and with your children. You might experience unexpected news or revelations from a romantic partner or a child at this time, bringing hidden matters to light for better or worse. Initially, it can feel like it's for worse, but ultimately it's going to bring about the best outcome for that gives to you and contributes to you spiritually. A significant moment in your love life or creative project could come to fruition at this time, giving you a new perspective on these areas. The eclipse might signal a time when you, or does really, the eclipse signals times when your passion or your relationships are tested, especially in matters of the heart. And this is happening in your fifth house. So this theme is definitely front and center. But if your love is strong, if you have a strong foundation, this challenge is only going to strengthen the bond. But it may reveal areas that needs attention so you can address them and cultivate a stronger bond and take the relationship to the next level. Maybe move it from that first, romantic stage and move it into that connection stage, that seventh house stage, right? This eclipse also is going to be refocusing you on joy and creative expression heavily. So you may be focused on larger life goals as these eclipses unfold, because like I said, they are activating that 11th house, which deals with your life goals and your purpose. These goals that you have will be focusing on or have an element that gives to you that brings about personal pleasure and creatively speaks to you, which enhances your spiritual well-being, right? Children in your life could be going through transitions right now, requiring more of your time and energy, or you may experience this big change related to parenting. Like maybe, your kid is going off to college, or maybe they're going from middle school to high school, or maybe you're having a kid, or maybe the kid is, going from being a preschooler going into school right now, but just big changes there. Also, a new creative endeavor could emerge at this time, or you might reconnect with the passion project that a passion project that allows you to express yourself in fresh ways that speaks to your soul, ways that nourishes you spiritually. It's important though to strike a balance between your responsibilities, right, and your need for fun and artistic fulfillment, right? So our responsibilities are things that we have to do, not necessarily that we want to do, but we don't want to be so, or don't want to be so focused there to where you don't do the things that nourishes you, that brings about fun, that piques your creative spark, all things that point to nourishing us spiritually. We don't want to neglect those, right? So now is going to be the time to where you need to be balancing that. There's going to be a turning point in your romance life, so get ready for that. You might be taking a relationship to the next level, right? Because the eclipse is going to be introducing a new chapter related to your romantic life. Maybe you're going to start dating again if you're not dating, right? Your creative projects are going to take a turn for the best as well, along with your social interactions. So this period is going to encourage you to follow your heart, explore new or creative opportunities, but it's wise to move forward thoughtfully. You don't want to move forward in the middle of the eclipse energy, because we just don't have the clarity that we need. The energy is just way too potent. So just observe for the week before and the week after, or through the week before and the week after, what is looking like it's presenting, and then move on the information that you gather after the week after the eclipse. You're going to be experiencing deep-seated emotions about love, creativity, personal expression. They're going to be full front and center, and they're going to prompt shifts in how you approach those aspects of your life. So you're going to be letting go of past restrictions or fears, right? So you can open up space for flow of new ideas, romance, and creative inspiration. And taking the relationship with your kids to the next level. Keep in mind that not everything is going to be, like I said, immediately clear. Some parts of the picture are just hidden still, but you're going to get glimpses of what's to come, what's going to be unfolding over these next 2.5 years. You're going to be seeking out more joy, like I said, and creativity in your life. There's going to be powerful realizations now that you're going to have that could set you on a path, or that will set you on a path to greater personal fulfillment, because that's what it's all about right now. Scorpio, sparking, a personal mission to improve your romantic and social experiences. That sounds good to me. That sounds like what it is. Okay. These shifts are going to be huge. Okay. And they're going to guide you toward understanding what truly makes you happy, right? True happiness, and how to achieve balance with regards to true happiness, that has a basis in spiritual nourishment, right? So embrace the changes as they come, but remember to take your time and let things unfold naturally. And if you got any value from this conversation, Scorpio, in the comments, do me a favor. I want you to put embracing the transformation. I want to know how it's connecting with you guys. And until next time, Scorpios, keep your hearts open and your spirits connected.